in our communities, I feel like we've been taught a lot that it's not enough. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough resources. But in reality, it ain't nothing further from the truth. It's always enough money because we print money. In the U.S., our money's not backed by gold like it used to be back in the day. It's just printed money. It's paper. It don't mean nothing. So.
What's good?
What's going on with you?
How you doing? How you doing?
Man, I'm here. LA weather, man. LA weather.
How your pandemic been doing?
Man, no mask, no nothing. You know how I get down.
So you ain't no bad about what the law is? That if you don't got your mask, you'll be fined and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do that. Only in the store though. You know, when I gotta go in somewhere, I put it on. But man, that ain't how we get down where I'm from.
All right, well, let the people know who you are, what you from, and what you do.
Man, I'm Toledo Hill to be professional. Screenwrite, direct, everything behind the scenes. Just now getting into it, so that's about it, man. I got some business stuff going too, but that's for another day.
So how long have you been into screenwriting?
Man, not long at all, about 3 months to be exact.
So what made you actually want to start screenwriting? What gave you the motivation?
Man, I've been doing this my whole life. Writing been my thing, but screenwriting always been something like a little different. So once I got into it and I found out what it was easy to just make that transition. So now I found something I love to do. I'm ready to get full all into it.
So when would you say you knew that screenwriting was something that you wanted to do as a career? Was it 3 months when you started? Was it a weekend till you actually started your first screenwrite? Like when did you know it was something you wanted to do?
Man, crazy story. I was actually talking to a girl. You know, she happened to read one of my stories in the notebook. And she was like, you need to start doing this. So once I did that, I was like, let me see what she's talking about. So I started talking to some people and I actually ran into somebody doing it. And he was like, yo, she right, man. You need to turn this into a story on film. So once he said that, I'm like asking questions and he gave me the platform to put it on, the Final Draft platform. And from that point on, it was ready to go.
So, who was somebody that actually inspired you to proceed with your screenwriting and motivated you and gave you advice that you feel is beneficial and it stuck with you?
Man, like I said, my homeboy Jordan, he was the one that was like, yo, you need to do this. So once I talked to him about it, it was like, yeah, I'm all the way in it because he do it and it was somebody easy to bounce ideas off of. And like I said, it was a go from there, hit the ground running.
So in the process of writing your first screenwrite, what was the process like? Actually getting the structure down and a storyline, what was that process like?
And my very first one is one called Indecent Proposal. And it's just a little short film, but it's about a girl cheating on a dude. But once I got into it, it was no real process. It was just the way I think about a story. So it was just me sitting down in front of the computer, popping the story into my head. So that was about it. No real, I didn't develop a character. I didn't sit down and make scenes. I just wrote a story out. And so it kind of panned out.
You didn't pen and pad, jot down ideas, you just went
yeah, just right into it, man. I just dove in and got a few pages in. It's like I said, it's a short film, so it'll probably, once we record it, it'll probably be about 11 minutes. So each page on there is a minute, so it'll probably be about 11 minutes. And that's just the first episode of the series. So each episode will be about 11 minutes.
So what are the plans you have for the series? Where do you plan on taking it?
Yeah, so for that series by itself, it'll just be like a 4-part series. So it'll probably be about 44 to 45 minutes. And each one will be 11 minutes. And then just unveiling what's going on from part 1 to part 4. And then from that point, I move away from that and start getting into the real things I'm working on. So now my whole process is different and I want to kind of showcase that as I go along.
So what inspires your storytelling?
Life experiences, just things we go through, things we see, everything you see outside. Like when you look outside the window, what's going on? So I want the audience to look at that same view, say, what's going on outside his window, basically.
So on the path of actually becoming a screenwriter, what are some of the obstacles or tribulations, trials that you had to overcome, or that you still overcoming, that you see, you know, that could be a barrier?
Man, I'm going through a couple right now as we speak. It's funny you say that. Got a script that I wrote, and then got people that saying, oh yeah, we want to help you out. But when I look at the paperwork for them trying to help me out, it looked like they trying to steal my work. So being able to trust people is a big thing for me, because loyalty is always a big thing. So trying to overcome that part of the game is something different for me. It's like, I think everybody should be loyal and they should be about their word, but as I see, everybody not about it. So now I'm trying to think about how to start doing things on my own and networking with people that's like on my level so we can come up together type of thing.
So with experience in that, do you think it would be hard to have a partnership or a cohesiveness between a group of people or two people to actually accomplish one specific goal?
Nah, I think that's the way things have to work, honestly. Like, if you got a team of people, everybody should have the same goal in mind, and that's how you build up faster. So even if you're a director and I'm a writer, and then we got a producer and we got somebody, you know, everybody doing their job, it's just like a basketball team. Everybody can't be the point guard. Everybody got to play their role so the team can win. So it's that type of thing. If we come up together, everybody can go off and do their own thing, but they they got that same one goal in mind.
And with that, speaking on that, do you think in the film industry that's one of the biggest obstacles of people not actually being in your corner or for the same goal? And then goals, some people may play for self, some people may play for fame. You know, is that hard to kind of weave through as you actually on your journey to, you know, filmmaking and screenwriting?
Yeah, that's one of the main things. You gotta realize that when you run into people, and I know, like I said, me myself, it's all about loyalty. But when you run into other people, they might not have those same character flaws or same character traits. So you run into them and you thinking like, oh yeah, they got my back, but they ain't really thinking nothing about you. They trying to get ahead on their own lane. So you gotta kind of maneuver around that. That's a big thing, man.
So on your path of becoming a screenwriter, would you say there's one type of screenwriter out there, or type of work that's out there that you actually kind of, you know, gravitate towards the most, that kind of gives you kind of inspiration to your work, to your storytelling? Somebody who you will go to when you know it's kind of like a mentor or somebody who you could take things from?
Yeah, I'll probably say Spike Lee. Spike Lee got everything he make is always different, but he always want to put his message in there. And that's one thing I want to do with everything I write. I'm not just writing just to entertain people. I want people to know it's a message behind everything I write. And something that I'm thinking is probably going to be in this film. Not probably, it's going to be in this film. But you might have to look for it, or it might be right out in your face. It just depends on the type of film.
So, what type of screenwriter would you label yourself as?
Man, versatile. I mean, I got everything right now that I'm planning on working on, from cartoons, drama, comedy, horror. I got a lot of different things. I write them down, and then it's like, okay, I put notes for them, but I save it to the side. But right now I'm working on a couple things in the forefront. So, like I said, just versatile. I want to do everything.
Okay. So what brought you to California?
Man, trying to network. You know, where I'm from, Cincinnati, it's a little different. Everybody say they want to do things, but when it come down to doing it, it ain't getting done. So out here, I feel like more actors got a work ethic that's like, hey, I'll do this for free just until I get to my point. And I feel like we all need to be like that, because like I said, I just started 3 months ago. So I know I'm not in a position to be like, hey, I want $300,000 for this script, but I want to get to that point. In order for me to get to that point, I got to put in work. So I got to put in these little gems at a time, and from that point, we'll just keep the ball rolling.
So tell us, how is the Cincinnati filmmaking scene, the screenwriters, the editors, the DOPs? Can you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, honestly, I can't tell you too much about any of them. It's like, I only know a couple people that's doing anything, but everybody seems to be like for themselves. I haven't tapped into that network where it's like, okay, come work with me and I'll help you out. Everybody is for themselves. So I need to tap into a network where it's like, hey, I like your work, let's work together, instead of, you know, everybody out there think they in Hollywood. They think, since I do this and you don't know nobody else who do this, give me $4,000 and I'll get this. Like, what? I ain't ever heard of you. Like, so it's just maneuvering around that is kind of hard, but coming out here, I see a whole different work ethic. So that's what I want to come out and do.
So what projects are you working on now, or what projects do you have on plan on dropping in the future?
The most recent one is the one I was telling you about with the one that somebody was trying to kind of maneuver from me. But it's called Line of Sight, and it's about a lawyer. It's a black lawyer, grew up in a white family, so she don't know the black experience. And now she's getting more accustomed to it, and as she get along in one of her main cases, it brings that out of her. So I'm working on bringing into Hollywood that thing where people don't have to have a white savior. We can help ourselves, and I want to put that on film so people have to see that we don't need other people involved in our fight to make things happen. So putting that on film, I think, is powerful, because you might want to speak to a lot of people, but just in the public speaking, you can't do that. But on film, you can do whatever you want to do, and it can reach a broad audience.
So what do you think would be an approach to that issue or that situation? What would be a different approach that you would take that probably somebody else probably hasn't already done?
Yeah, like I said, the main thing I notice is in Hollywood, we always got the white savior. We always got the person that got to come in and save the day, but it's always a person who has nothing to do with the actual struggle. We don't always need that outside hand. What we need to see each other doing more of is sticking together to make things work. So just that unity piece is something that we miss a lot of. And when we see it in the media, it makes us think like, oh, we can't do nothing until they come save us. Like, nah, we need to come in and do our own thing, stick together, and we get more done.
Okay, so what would you say it is? It's like you hustling for? What you getting up every day grinding for? What is it you trying to achieve?
Man, I mean, the main thing is always, I got a daughter, you know, she's 5. So the main thing is making sure that when she grows up, she doesn't have to worry about anything. But on the other end of that, I want to teach her to do what you love to do, because myself, I didn't find what I really love to do until now. Like I said, 3 months ago. I've been writing my whole life, but screenwriting is something that's different. I get to create the universe. So like, I'm hustling to make sure everybody around me knows that do what you're passionate about and the money will come. And don't focus on what you want to make money on, because you're going to always have a job. It ain't going to never be a shortage of jobs out here. And if you're a woman, it ain't going to never be a shortage of men, and opposite for the men. You got to learn that it's enough everything out here for everybody. And the more we stick together, the more of it we can get. Like, if I'm out here by myself, I might have $100. But if you and 10 other people got $100, now we got more than enough money to get things done. So we got to start having more of that mentality.